All right, good afternoon. My
Yeah,
name is Brittany, and I'm here talking to my volunteer, Mr. Trayvon
trust.
Trust. And just want Mr. Trayvon, just want to let you know that we are being recorded. Is that okay with you?
Yes.
Okay. And we're going to have you sign a consent form, so giving your consent to do this interview, okay?
Okay.
All right, so we're just gonna just have a casual conversation. Just want to just talk and find out a little bit more about you and what do you do and some of the things that has transpired in your life that can possibly have an effect on you today, possibly. So, just want to just dive into it. So, just tell me about yourself.
Um, so my name is Trayvon Trust. I'm from Chicago, South Side Chicago.
Okay.
Roseland. But I grew up on the west side of Chicago, near
Mhm.
like Garfield Park.
Mhm.
Um, Me and my mother, we were homeless for most of my life.
Mhm.
When I started when I was 8 years old. First it was shelters, and you started to live with like relatives or friends. It was like that until I was 13 years old.
Bless me.
Uh,
Excuse me.
when I was 13, I moved in with my dad. That experience was difficult.
Why you say that?
Um, it's really shocking, I would say, because the reason I actually prefer living with my mom, even though our circumstances was bad, to live with my dad because me and my dad have different personalities.
Mm.
I'm quiet and reserved, still observant, but he's, uh, what's the word I should use? A jerk. It's like, he wasn't like physically abusive, he was more emotionally abusive.
Mhm.
And, you know, certain pet peeves of mine, come from him. Like for example, like I have a pet peeve about the word stupid. You
Mhm.
know, he used to always call me stupid when I was a kid, and like it
Mhm.
really had an effect on me. You know, um, I tried to use that as like motivation because I was in remedial classes when I was a kid.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, well, all the way through elementary school, first year of high school, and it's just I wanted to prove to myself that I was good enough. You know, my circumstances didn't define me.
Mhm.
So I motivated myself to like get out of it, and at the end of high school, I was in advanced placement classes with full ride.
Nice. Nice.
So yeah, uh,
So let's talk about how did your father emotional abuse affect you?
at first, I had horrible confidence, inferiority complex about myself.
Mhm.
But then I realized it's like I shouldn't allow what he or anyone say about me really affect me.
Mhm.
Take it as criticism of what you made, but it's like it kind of depends on how I take it and how I respond to it.
Mhm.
Um, it's just I didn't want to play the victim anymore.
Okay. So you felt victimized.
Yeah, I tried to like see it from his point of view. Maybe it's tough love, but he said a couple of things to me that you know a father shouldn't say to his son, in my opinion. I would
Mhm.
never say that to my son, even if I did like show some tough love.
Mhm. So now let's talk about some of the barriers that are that you may be facing. What are some of the barriers you are facing now? You think?
My confidence to actually, become a guidance counselor. Like I've been working towards this goal, like ever since my senior year of high school,
Mhm.
and there are certain, things that I think about, like for example, me having a stable life. Because as you know, as a guidance counselor, you know, it's kind of difficult getting a job, or
Mhm.
sometimes, when there's a
Mhm.
recession. Especially me being a male, where I come from, there's not a lot of male guidance counselors.
Okay.
I could tell myself, oh, I'm going to become a guidance counselor, even though I'm a male, even though, majority of them are women,
Mhm.
and most of them are white,
Mhm.
especially the demographic. I still want to do it because I think it's my destiny. But when you look at it from a financial point of view, it could still be difficult. And was questioning like, oh, maybe I should go to the mental health field.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I tried to, but my scholarship wouldn't pay for it. So I decided to do the guy with the school counseling route.
Okay. So let's. So what about some of your barriers though? Like as far as personal life goes, like
Oh,
what type of barriers do you have now?
um, money. You know, like I said earlier, I have a part-time job.
Mm-hmm.
And I would love for it to be like full-time, each and every night, but it's part-time. The time being.
Okay.
That's the only thing. That's the only thing in my mind now, like financial struggles. Um,
So what other things? What other? So tell me about some things you like to do.
I'm a huge wrestling fan.
Okay.
So I watch, wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a bit of a geek, so like I'm really into geek culture.
Okay.
I used to be real introvert. In a way, I am still introverted, but I still go out. I still go out with friends when they're free. We go to a bar. A bar. All my friends really like Hooters. They really like Hooters. But like, yeah, into the movies.
Okay.
Yeah, I really love movies.
So what are some of the things that you think, or what are some of your hobbies that you think you can do that can generate you some type of additional revenue?
Well, something to do with a lot of networking.
Like for as computers, or as far as like
No,
getting
I
out
mean
in
social
networking. Okay,
yeah.
okay. Well, I mean, you was talking about your geek. You're very geeky, and so when you say geek, like what is that pertaining to? Like far as technology, as far as like you can be a science geek, you can be a math geek, you can be a computer geek. It's different forms of geek. So which one do you fall up under?
Oh, thank you for asking that question. I clarify by saying that no, I classify like all like the science academic part as like nerd, and
Okay.
geek as like TV shows, movies, and stuff like that.
So
That's how I classify.
okay, so you classify being a geek as someone who watch a lot of television.
Television and the books.
Okay, so I know that they have a like professional screeners or people that go around and movie critics.
Mm.
Have you ever thought about that? Like seeing how you could just be generate income because that's one of the things you like to do is watch movies. So if you want to go to be a movie critic, you can get paid for watching movies, right?
Yeah, I think Rotten Tomato. Now,
Mm-hmm.
I thought about creating a YouTube channel talking about movies.
And that generates income too. But you have to have a certain amount of followers, right, in order to do that.
Yeah, likes and subscribers. Yeah.
Right. So, but if you can start off with doing Rotten Potato, and that's a form of income, you just rate how you feel, right? Do you put your ratings down and continue on with the next movie? I think. Have you ever looked into that?
Yeah. Get certified.
So what do you have to do to get certified?
I don't remember because this was a while ago when I looked this up.
Mm-hmm.
You have to do some type of paperwork. Submit a couple of essays.
Okay.
Like a pass. Yeah.
So what else do you like to do?
Oh, I like to read.
Okay, what type of books do you like to read?
Science fiction.
Mm-hmm.
Or I've been reading It by Stephen King.
You like it?
Yeah.
You know they're coming out with a chapter 2.
Yeah.
You gonna go see it?
I will. I will go see it.
Okay.
Yeah, because I like reading the book and comparing the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I should read, other books that's not like book adaptations, but that's what I've been doing for the last couple of years.
Okay. So now, what are some of the ways that you can think of that can help you overcome your financial barrier?
Talk to my boss and ask for more hours, or just finding another job and trying to schedule it. So working a day, and I go to school at night.
So you, when you say you work part time, does that mean like just on only on the weekends, or does that mean that you're doing it Monday through Friday or sporadic days out the week, in the morning or in the evening? How does that work?
Evening, weekends.
Evening and weekends.
Yeah.
Okay. So have you checked into other security positions or even other opportunities?
I asked my friend, he works security somewhere else, and I was trying to see if he could help me get in contact with the boss or someone.
Okay.
A job.
Okay.
He helped me with the other part-time job.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Cause I know quite a few people that are in the security business, and I can see if they have any opening slots, or see if they have a facility that needs securing, and if that's the case, then I can recommend you.
Thanks.
Because no problem, because I know it's hard. Finances can be hard, right? And not having them can be even harder. So wanted to kind of alleviate some of that, or help you try to alleviate some of that stress, because you don't want to go into grad school or do grad school with the stress of not having enough finances to do what you would like to do, right? So, but it's too a process. You just gotta understand that it's a process, and that things do not happen overnight, and some things may come in different shapes, form, or fashion. So I say that to ask you, but so besides a guidance counselor, what would be your other ideal profession? Or what are you good at? What else are you good at?
I want to become a mental health counselor.
Okay.
And, work with kids with autism,
Mhm.
or like someone on the spectrum, maybe Asperger's.
Okay. And why you have a passion for those particular mental illnesses?
Because when I was in high school, I was very socially awkward. I'm not saying I'm like autistic or anything, but I had an autistic friend. No, he had Asperger's.
Okay.
And, he had a difficult time making friends.
Mhm.
And we befriended, and we used to talk a lot. And I tried to, I help him out anywhere I could. So, I kind of sparked my interest.
Okay. Okay. Well, good. That's good. So that's the track that you want to do, right? Okay.
One of the tracks I'm interested in.
One of the tracks. So what is the other track? Let's talk about that.
Let's say school counseling.
School counseling and mental health. So do you think that at one point that you will go back to get your mental health? Or, a school counselor can become licensed counselors too.
I know. It's just I had a lot of conversations in undergrad. A lot of people recommended that I go in the mental health track, because the school counselor track you could become very limiting. To a certain extent. This is what people told me.
Yeah. I mean, but it's all what you make it, though.
Yeah.
It's all what you make it. So I know a lot of licensed mental health counselors that are guidance counselors. Yes, they have their license, but they chose to stay in a school system. But that's not to say they can't go and do their own private practice if they so choose. So it all depends on what you decide to do and how the road takes you, and which direction which path you decide to go, so that it won't be as more so you could what people say, stuck or just limited in that one track, because it's a variety of ways you can help people. So you can help them in schools, you can help them in maybe in corporations or corporate offices. So it all depends. It varies, but I just want to see how, in what ways I can help you, to help you get to the next level as far as like with your finances, try to help break down some of these barriers, so that you won't seem as if you're in a holding pattern because of certain barriers in your life. Let's try to work through and see how you can overcome these to make the barriers become a triumphant situation, something that you can overcome later on, and not let that deter you or hold you back from doing what you're really set out to do in life. Okay?
Okay.
All right.